Hey, how's it going? Today, I'm bringing you guys a patch. We've been working on the combat update, but took a break from that to work on a patch and fix some things, and I'm going to be reading the changelog here for you guys. Changelog will be in the Discord. I'll put a link in the description of this video, because when you guys see this video, maintenance will be starting and the patch will be releasing, so this is something for you guys to watch during that, okay? So, let's talk about it. Challenger luck system. Have you ever felt like Challenger drops are too low? Z-Soul is a little too rare for you, 20% drop, a little too low? Well, good news. The more you grind, the higher luck you'll have with this new system. Let me explain. So this is aimed at giving you better drops in general, but not for free. We didn't just want to buff drops because we felt like they were more or less where we wanted them, but we want to give you guys a way to have higher drop rates for putting in work, okay? So how does it work? The calculation is pretty simple. If you have 10% luck, that's going to equate to 1.10. So if you do like 10% times 1.10, 11%. It's not plus 10%, times 10%, okay? So what will it affect? It will affect Z-Souls, Kaioken drops, God, and Primal. Those work a little differently. We're going to talk about God and Primal XP drops later. So where do you get luck from? Well, there's something called local luck and global luck. I'm going to start with local luck. This will only affect the challenger you're farming. So if you're farming Goku, it's not just Goku, it's Goku 1S. So every challenger, there's 133 of them, not counting transformations. Transformations will just use the parent challenger's luck, okay? So, there's 133 challengers. Each of them have their own luck progression. What is this based on? Achievements. So if you've already killed hundreds of challengers, good news. The system will already benefit you. So local luck, you're going to get more local luck than you will global. But we're going to talk about global in a minute. So you're going to get 4% local luck per achievement goal you meet. These achievement goals obviously get farther and farther each time. But this local luck will basically, all the luck works the same. The thing about this luck is it's local to that challenger. So Goku 1S. That's Goku 1S's luck, not nobody else's. But now let's talk about global. So global is every challenger, okay? The way this one works, first off, you're only going to get 1.5% per goal you reach. The goals, again, are tied to achievements. So we just took your total kills, which you could see it / achievement challengers on screen. You can see it there. We took that, added goals to it, and now as you progress, you're going to get 1.5, 1.5, 1.5%. Small amount, yes, but it's going to build up over time. So just basically the point of this luck system is as you fight challengers, you're just going to get more and more and more luck, and you have a higher chance of getting the things you want in grinding, okay? So the total luck you can get, again, you're getting 4% per goal, so there's 7 goals, 28% on the local side, and up to 51% global luck with 1.5 each, and there's 34 goals there. Mind you, these get really high. These are, this is not something that, we intend every single person to be reaching the peak of this. It's just to give you guys somewhere to go. If you really want to farm challengers and really want something to do, this goes all the way. The last goal is at 25,000. So a lot of kills. So you will have a total of 79% luck from this entire system. There may be other things in the future that give luck, perhaps. We'll see about that. For now, this is where we wanted to start it. Very happy with this. This started as a conversation on the podcast 3 podcasts ago. It's a month and a half ago now. About these drops are a little too low, but frankly, at the time, I'm can we just raise everything by a couple 5-10%? The Z-Soul drops? And then it's the more we thought about it, the more it's what if there was some actual system? Not just let's buff all the drops. Because frankly, that's kind of the lazy solution. Would it work? Yeah, it might feel better, but this system ultimately provides you with a better feedback loop of you do something and you get higher chances. And we don't need to inflate these drops to such a high drop chance where they don't even feel good anymore. God and Primal XP drops work. So, you got the 3 brackets. You got your 1 to 3 XP, 4 to 6 XP, and 7 XP. TLDR is the 1 to 3 XP is lowered by an amount, and the 4 and 6 and 7 are raised. So it'll just be the one you kind of don't want, the ones you do want, that's the TLDR. There's I'll show it on screen, but that's the quick and easy explanation of it. We added new kill goals for the achievements. It used to cap out at 250. Mind you, it was tracked beyond 250 forever. So I think there's people that have shown they've killed 1,000 of a Kid Buu challenger or something like that. And so now there's a 500 and 1,000 gold. Both of those will give you luck as well as rewards. Next up, Playtime system. I'm not going to get too in-depth on this one. The TLDR is the old Ontime system, was a plugin. Hasn't been updated in 9 years now, and was getting really laggy. And the bigger our database got, which our database isn't huge, but it's big, and the bigger it got, the worse the lag got. So we made our own, basically. This system brings over basically every feature of Ontime, stripping out the ones we didn't use, that didn't matter to you, and adding some new ones, notably tracking character creation time, which sadly is really only tracked from now, as well as tracking when you created your character. You're able to see things like when you first joined, how many days you've played, your day playtime, week playtime, month playtime, year, and total, as well as time during an event and on a specific server. So the cool part about the specific server time is that was already tracked. A lot of this was actually already tracked. There's I think year time was one of the only ones we had to add to that. So really what you can expect from the system is less lag in general. It's hard to really quantify, but at the beginning of the hour, if you've ever been like, why is it so laggy in the first like 5 minutes of the hour, that was on time. I'm pretty sure it's like creating the top list or whatever, like it's caching it locally. That was incredibly laggy. I don't know how, because I do a the same system, same database structure, just doesn't lag. I can only assume it's because it was using a version of the database system from 9 years ago or more if they hadn't updated. Moving on, gear coin drops. So another thing from the podcast that I was like very irritated about is I spent an entire podcast grinding an armor set, and I was just sitting there like, there's got to be a better way to do this. So we got to talking, me and the team, and we came to the conclusion that we're going to remove the gear coin drops. There's more, of course. We're removing the gear coin drops from the enemies. Now, when you complete the quest, you just get gear coin rewards. It's a reward pool. It's still some RNG stuff. But the TLDR is you're always going to get at least one common gear coin of whatever type you're farming. The thing is, you have chances to get other reward brackets. The brackets are as follows. You can get one common gear coin, which is the most likely, 2, 3, or 1 uncommon or 2 uncommon. So there's 5 different drops here. You can't get more than one of these 5 drops. You will get one of them. You know, they share the 100%. There's an example on screen right now. Goal here was to make it so you wouldn't be stuck relying on a multi-enemy quest fight, because there was times where the multi-enemies weren't even great in and of themselves, as well as we don't want you to be stuck farming like a really weak enemy and getting no TP, no anything out of the farming experience beyond the gear coins. So the goal here is every quest that drops gear coins can be farmable. You know, you just pretty much choose the highest one you can farm, like basically everything else you farm. So another change coming within this patch is textures for Z-Souls. They've been updated. Beforehand, they were about 5 years old. They were one of the oldest textures I had made. So now they've been updated. The idea was giving it a fresh coat of paint, keeping the aesthetic present, but just updating it to the modern standard. So this affected all the racial Z-Souls, the tier Z-Souls, and the fragments, as well as the Kaioken shards, because they were like the same style. So there's some changes to quick selection within the patch, mostly just tidying it up, fixing a few little bugs, but a primary one here is if you hold the button, in this case G for the transformation page, if you hold it, it will take you to your last selection, okay? So when I go ahead and hold it, it's just going to take me to whatever I last transformed into, whether it was a form stack with alternate form, racial state, or Kaioken. The Kaioken page and the fusion page also do this. So there's so that's going to help you get to the forms quicker, okay? So just save you a little bit of menu navigation. So if you guys have any suggestions to make quick selection easier to use, faster, anything, let me know. But yeah, for now, I hope this is a good little change for you. So let's talk about this new context menu. What is that? For some context on this, the menu aims to allow for easier warping, switching of titles, switching of your rank display, which is a new feature, and toggling cosmetics. A while ago, I'm like, I think there needs to be a better way to change your title, because the command is pretty bulky, and I feel like people don't even understand titles because of that. They don't know there's unlockable ones. They don't know there's ones on the store. It's a confusing system that like nobody knew about. So the idea was, let's make a nice menu. And then I quickly went, why don't we finally let them change their rank display? So if you're a supporter, you can be like, I just want to be a member. I don't want to be supporter. So you can do that. And every rank below that. So if you have permission for the rank, you can choose that rank's title. Jolly, Spook. And then cosmetics came into the loop because it's like, well, that's another just like titles confusing command with a lot of depth that people might overlook. Warps came last. I was playing the podcast and I'm like, it's really annoying that I cannot tab complete these damn warps because I want to type warp quests and I could just type QU and press tab and be done with it. But no, because this old ancient version of Minecraft doesn't do that. So what was the solution? Recode the warp system. When you type /warp, this new menu will come up. What was the point of tab completing, you might ask? The command still exists. So for everyone who has muscle memory, you can still /warp form, /warp quest, whatever it is. With these menus, there's a couple cool features. You could search the entire list. You can favorite things to keep it at the top of the list. There's a scroll wheel. I mean, that's kind of obvious. There's a search bar. Did I already say that? I did. There's categories to help you find what you're looking for easier. Some other notes is the rank page will show you all of the rank benefits just in case you don't have the rank and maybe you want that rank. There's also a link to the store page. If you hold shift and click it, it will give you a link to that exact items on the store page. So yeah, same thing for donor titles, but yeah, you'll be able to see the rank benefits. That's neat. You'll be able to see details for like where you unlock titles. There's a lot in this system. It's accessible via the escape menu. It's probably all I need to say about it. Just use it in game and let me know what you think. Character slot selection screen. This just got tidied up really. There was an issue where like people would like basically lose their character, just be confused like, hey, I'm on the wrong character. So we're like, how can we solve this? Simple way is just show you the details on the character slot screen like every game ever. So you can see your character name, your race, your class, your level, the stats, and when you last logged into it. Global chest changes. Tab 2 has been an absolute menace. So the solution for the time being, because we tried to find a solution, we tried to figure out a way to actually fix the tab 2 item loss. We were unable to, so what we ended up doing was tab 2 will be disabled, and how that will work is if you had items in it, hopefully, the items will just be refunded to you. You just have a big button, just like the EHS claim. You just be like, claim your tab 2 items, and you claim it, and they go to your inventory, and that's the end of it, and you have your items back, okay? I want to mention, for anyone watching this that hasn't already, if you lost any tab 2 items, please make a ticket on our Discord and we'll get you sorted out. We do not want anybody to have item loss. There was item loss with this system, quite a lot of it. So if you had loss, make a ticket and we get you sorted. We have backups dating all the way back to like November, October-ish at this point. So if you lost anything, let us know, make a ticket, and we will solve that for you. We do not want anyone to walk away with this losing stuff, okay? Some packet changes. So there's been a few issues where you just randomly get like the crate screen opening on your menu, challengers on the side of your screen. Pretty much anything visually, it would just happen. It would just open at a random time, and someone who is actually doing that thing won't get it. Basically, the packets are like sending to the wrong people. Seems very simple. Not really. This isn't necessarily a solution to it, but it's something that might help. I just basically streamlined the packet system, cleaned up some of the internals. I won't get too much into it because it's kind of nerdy and not really relevant to you guys, but it might work better. Might be some new issues with it. Let us know. Just if things start randomly breaking, we'll figure out pretty soon here. Some changes to chat reactions. Pretty brief here. The amount of Zenny you get from chat reactions was raised from 500 to 750. There's also a benefit from doing chat reactions fast. You can get up to 2 times the Zenny if you get the chat reaction in less than 3 seconds. That's pretty neat, just a lot of Zenny there. There also used to be a system where if you were the last one to win the chat reaction and you did it again, you'd get double. And with that, we changed that. So now each time you were the last one, you get plus 0.25. Also, first person rendering. This isn't really crazy, but we fixed the little issue where you'd be holding your character. Shift stack consumption. You can now sneak, in this case, since you won't be in a menu, press shift to consume a full stack of an item. The items that can do this are Z-Souls, Kaioken items, and TP gems. So if you have a stack of those, you can just consume them, and that's the end of it. The only limitations here are, like if you're about to reach the TP cap, we use the difference. So like if you're like 10 million TP away and you have 15 gems in this stack, it will just use 10 and that'll be the end of it, okay? Obviously, if this would put you over the cap and there's not enough to use or whatever it is, it just won't. So there's some things like that. Same thing with the mastery leveling. It won't try to level you up more than once. So you still got to click a few times. If you had a ludicrous amount of Z-Souls, you still got to click a few times, but you can use as many to level as you need, okay? Some fixes to fusion. Quick selection had a bug where like it would tell you need to be level 2 to cancel the fusion. Fixed that. That was purely a bug. You could still press H the whole time, but visual bug that confused a lot of people. There was also a bug where fusion would just not give passive XP. This was a very embarrassing bug internally, so it's been fixed now. There's also an issue where when you're in primal form, so Super Saiyan 4, the Metamorph outfit just not be there. You just be naked. I think it was the primal form clothing removal toggle. If you turned it on, the whole outfit would disappear. And now just the shirt disappears, as you'd expect. So a few form changes here. Fix an issue, Super Saiyan 3 racial state, so full power legendary. It had less strain than intended. Primal modes and forms are now properly affected by level progression. Don't know how that didn't make the cut, but we missed it. So yeah, they actually had the level progression system now. That was an oopsie. There was also some issues with the drain involving level progression. It's hard to explain, but it's fixed now. Form visual changes, fixed a rendering bug with Ascended God Majin. Many of you guys have reported this. Thank you. By the way, thank you all for reports, period. It helps us get these things fixed, so thank you. There's some bugs with Arcosian's racial states. Just visually going into them, they'd look weird. Fixed a issue with Super Saiyan 4 fusion hair. If you turned off the preset Super Saiyan 4 hair, so like the Goku looking one, your hair would just not be colored in Super Saiyan 4 fusion. Just a oopsie. Some inventory changes here. Whenever you're holding a piece of gear that's not yours, it will say, it won't show the stats, and it will just say like this gear isn't yours or whatever. But then you can also hold shift to see the stats anyway, just if you're curious. The daily missions got a little polish up on the visuals. Action log messages now visually stack. So all this means is if you get the same error message 50 times, it's going to show you X50 next to it. Oh, TP Gems, Z-Souls, and Kaioken items will now combine the values. So if you gained 1 million TP and you used another one, now it will say gained 2 million TP, gained 3 million TP, and so on. So basically they just combine instead of 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, or in this case, 1 million X5, right? Because I also fixed a bug where your hair wouldn't visually update when changing it with the barber scissors. This is also just like there was a few times it wouldn't happen. You create your character, you'd be bald, various things like that. It was literally just not updating the hair on the client. The hair was there on the server, which is why relogging would fix it. The client just needed to be updated, needed to be told to update the hair. Some quest fixes. There was one bigger bug where the you must complete quest was one off for all of Z and Super apparently. So that was just really confusing when you go to a quest you don't have the thing for yet, and it would tell you to complete a quest you already completed, and you'd be like, a little display change. So widescreen monitors, I have one. So I realized upon playing my own game very fast that these GUIs look very bad. So I coded up a quick little fix, and thankfully it was a quick little fix, because it was, I'm not going to explain it. It's very nerdy. I hate GUI scaling with a passion, and having a weird monitor size does not help the issue. Thankfully, I have a 16:9 monitor to test on. Yay. So this has been fixed for, there's like 20 of you maybe that have a widescreen monitor, so there you go. Someone actually reported crates not working, and upon further investigation, I asked them, do you have a widescreen monitor? Because it wasn't working for me either. So I'm like, do you have a widescreen monitor? And they were like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, holy shit. Can you like try to click to the right a little bit? Because that's where the button actually was. And they tried it, and sure enough, it worked. And I'm just sitting there like, what are the chances? I met 1 in 20 people on all of Apollo that maybe have a widescreen monitor. Energy charging now only uses the relative amount of stamina when charging to max. Basically, if you're missing 1 energy, it would take the full amount of stamina it needs to charge that, which just felt kinda bad. Added a alias command for TP convert and Zenny convert. You can just do /TP convert and /Zenny convert. That's about it. Also, the spook interface is finally gone. Sorry this took a while. I was busy with many things, including the combat update. So thank you guys for being patient. There should be more videos soon. One last thing, we're gonna start the Easter event like right now with this patch. So I do want to mention it's past Easter, but call it a spring event, whatever you want. It's an event. Enjoy the TP booster and the store sale. TP booster on the screen. I don't know what it is right off the top of my head, but it's here above my head actually. So there's a TP and a Zenny booster, and an Easter egg hunt around spawn. So just go to spawn and find Easter eggs, dude, and you get stuff, and you can buy stuff in the in-game store, and it's very cool. thank you for watching this video. We're going to have some other combat videos probably soon. I can finally go back to working on combat. I'm free from patch development. Yes. So yeah, thank you for watching. There's also another video coming soon, maybe. Thanks for watching. Show up at the podcast. They're cool. I like talking to people, and I like you guys asking questions. Feel free to ask questions on this video too. Goodbye. This is a long